Dougal has spoken very eloquently on the thrust of the bill, and I commend Senator Malcolm for bringing this forward. And you know, I have sympathy too and agree with the intention and thrust of the bill, which I see as all persons should be able to live in their homes at peace and without fear of abuse, attack and harassment. And you know, some people have talked about, you know, us politicians as if we're some sort of precious beings, you know, within these houses. But you know, we have county councillors throughout this country that are also having their homes attacked. And I'm thinking of Councillor Vincent Jackson in Dublin, and protesters turned up at his house a couple of weeks ago, and he wasn't at home at the time, and he actually is a foster parent. On top of being a parent himself, he's a foster parent. So you can imagine the vulnerability of those children within those four walls on that particular night. So people have to think about the consequences when you do turn up to, you just don't know whether that politician could be looking after an elderly parent or a child with disabilities. So, you know, people just need to think carefully when you do turn up to a person's home. And then we had Councillor Eugene McGuinness in Kilkenny, and he had his car and attacked and his windows broken there last week as well. So these are very serious instances where people think that they can turn up to politicians' homes and cause damage. I do believe that there's CCTV footage in relation to the second incident. I certainly hope that the Gardaí do apprehend and charge those individuals that caused that crime. So, you know, this bill, of course, does not do what it intends to do. Section 2, which outlines the offences, prohibits targeted process within 200 metres of any residential dwelling, rather than a dwelling which houses the target of the protest, or is believed to house them, or is owned by them. This, of course, is nonsense and would likely prohibit protests outside Leinster House or all department buildings. All protests would have to be held maybe someplace in a field in Kildare or Leitrim. The figure of 200 metres is way too high. People tend, no, I'm not saying Leitrim, but people tend to be poor at estimating the distance. 200 metres from Leinster House takes you physically into Marion Square Park onto the Trinity campus. If you are in the canteen, 200 metres it takes you possibly onto Stephen's Green. So that might need to be looked at. Somewhere maybe between 20 and 50 metres would be a much more appropriate, I think. So the bill needs quite a lot of work. I would like to see tighter provisions and protections for the right to assembly and the freedom of speech included within the bill, whilst also criminalising the behaviour which we are all condemned, or threatened behaviour directly at individuals and their families. In relation to our SIPO returns, I don't know, but I haven't put down my home address. I told them I can't put down my home address because I foster children, and I don't want the children that I foster to be in an unsafe space. And some of the children, I've had some of those parents writing to me here, and even at my office address. So my personal home is not on my SIPO returns, and I've told them why I can't have it on my SIPO returns while I'm fostering. So, you know, I'm trying to protect the children, nothing to do with Sharon Keogan and where she lives. It's immaterial as far as the public is concerned. The children that I take care of are more important to me than any protester. If they want to come and protest, they can protest outside my office. I've already had it burned down, so you can knock yourself out if you want to come and protest at my office. So I do believe in free protest. I do believe in the right to people to protest, but I think the family home needs to be off the market. Thank you.
Very much.